Okay. Welcome back to More Than a Garden. This is Erin, and today I wanted to give you an update on our chickens, on our baby chicks that we brought. If you don't know, we brought chickens into the city. We had to get permission from our city and a special use permit, and so we did that, and now we have our chickens. They're almost 3 weeks old, and I wanted to give you an update. As you can hear them, they're getting big, they're growing their feathers, and they're about halfway to the time when we bring them outside. So today, we're going to take them outside. We got this idea from Chickenlandia. It's a channel that has a lot of great information about raising chickens in your backyard, and she's a lot of fun and very interesting and knowledgeable. So we got this idea from her. We take the top of the guinea pig cage out into the yard. I have some time out in the grass to enjoy the weather. And it's a beautiful day. It's not too windy, not too cold, not too hot. Perfect day to give them their first time out in the grass. So come along with us. Okay. So here they are. As you can see, they're growing very well, that they're getting their feathers, and we did we did end up having to make a better brooder. As you can see, this brooder is not the original one. It's a lot larger. We had to build that, and we built it with a roost on it because the little bin that we had was not going to be enough for them. We quickly learned that within the first week that the bin was not going to be big enough. So Sean built this, and we've had them in this for about 2 weeks now, and they seem very happy. They have room to run around. They have room to roost. And I'm going to try to get a little close up. They're going to flutter around a little. But here they are. Here they are. They're changing. We learned that with chickens, that when you see them as a baby, that's not necessarily how they're going to look as they grow, that their feathers come in a little bit different. So they're starting to change a little bit. We can still tell them apart, though. Hello, there's Ruby. She's down under there. I want to document this for our memory, because we already went back and looked at the earlier chicken video where we brought them home, and they're already so much bigger. It's amazing. They don't fit in that little fleece pocket that my daughter made anymore. Oh. They're so very curious, and they're not at all afraid of us. We've been feeding them out of our hands and getting them very used to being held, because we want them to not be afraid or skittish of us. We want them to come when we need them to, so we get them used to eating from our hands, so they know to come and get a treat from us. And they're all so fun and sweet. So let's get these little ones outside, these little ladies outside, for their first walk in the green grass. Here they are. We brought them all out one at a time, and they're kind of not sure what to do. So we're just going to kind of let them enjoy the grass for a few minutes. Exploring, aren't they? I don't want to open up the cage at all, because they'll fly out, and then we'll be chasing little baby chickens all over the yard. Oh, here's Anne. She's always isn't she always the one that's a little more brave? Yeah, brave. I'm just going to open it a little bit.
That's a bad.
No, it's okay. So as I said, we got this idea from Chickenlandia, and it seems to be just a good idea to get them outside. You only want them to be out for a few minutes, probably 10 minutes at this point. Yeah, we're in the shade, and it is still a little windy today, so we will bring them back in about 10 minutes. Keep an eye on them. If they start to chatter a lot, then that means they're cold. Start to chirp and chirp, and they seem to be okay right now. They seem to be pretty content. And we just want our little chickens to be so healthy, and they seem to be enjoying it. They peck at the grass. They're not cold yet. They've got enough feathers that I feel that they're not going to get super cold, especially because it's about 80 degrees right now. So that's why we're only going to keep them out for a few more minutes. They're pretty. They seem to be.
Did you see Ruby?
What?
She just wagged her tail.
Oh, did she? They seem to be pretty content. I think. Oh, it's a good view. So there they are. They're still outside. They're enjoying the weather, and we're going to take them in a few minutes. But I just wanted to give you a little update on how they're growing. There are a few things that I've learned in these past 3 weeks. I am certainly not at all, ever have been a farm girl, but I'm fast becoming one. Such an incredible experience, such a lot of fun. It is a lot of work at first to get acclimated to everything, to understand what they need and how to prepare for them properly. If I had it to do over again, we would have just started out with a bigger brooder from the very beginning. We didn't want to spend a lot of money, so we were trying to save on that. But once we got that brooder made from found materials, we had most of the materials already laying around from other projects. But if you don't have that or have that ability to make that, the best thing I think would be one of those galvanized metal tubs. And we looked into them, and they are a little bit more expensive, but they can be used for other things. Once you're done using them as a brooder, there's a lot of different ways you can use those. So it's a good investment, especially if you're starting to homestead. The second thing I've learned is that I would probably get a better watering system from the beginning. We have just it's a little jar with a little tray around it, around the bottom, and they kick up the pine shavings like crazy all the time. I'm removing pine shavings from their water about 8 times a day, and it gets frustrating. They also knock it over a lot, so that happened while we were gone for a couple of hours, and they were looking at us like, we are thirsty, we are so thirsty. So we were a little worried that if we had left for longer that they wouldn't have had water. So there is a certain watering system that we just ordered that's coming, and in my next video I'll show that to you. Third thing that I've learned is that you should start your chicken coop as soon as you can. We had to wait until we got the okay from the building inspector, But once we did, we started, and now we have about 3 weeks to finish this behind me. We had to move it away from the house. Our original plan was to put it closer to the house, but there's a setback requirement. So there's all those things to look into when you're doing this in the city. So we have it under the tree back here. Sean's working every night, and our son's helping him. They're building the chicken coop, and they're going to get it done in 3 weeks, because that's when these little girls are going to be ready to come outside and live in their new chicken coop. Those are the 3 things that I would suggest you do if you're deciding and want to start chickens in your backyard. The things that I've learned so far. I'm sure there's going to be more. Like I said before, this is a huge learning curve for me, and not something I ever expected to do, but here we are, and it's a lot of fun. That's it for today, everyone. I just wanted to give you that quick update on our chickens. We're going to get those little girls back in the house now, and change their water again and give them more food again and watch them grow even more. This has been a great time, and we're all enjoying this immensely, and it's such fun for the whole family. If you're interested in learning how we did this, I did make a video with my husband about all the process that we went through to get the chickens from the city, where we had to go through and get a special use permit. I'll link that below. So if you're interested in seeing them when they were first brought home, they were so tiny and they've grown so fast. And I promise I'll get at least one more video of them growing before we put them into our chicken coop, which is right here. We've got this is the actual coop, and then the run is going to come this way out to there, out to where those bricks are. So they're going to have quite a run, and they're going to be able to go underneath for more shade. But they're going to have shade for most of the day, which is important. And it's all going to be covered and be safe. And we'll be talking more about the actual building and how to make this coop safe in another video coming up. We're learning as we go, and we're sharing it with you. So thank you for being with me today. Thank you for subscribing. Thank you for your interest in our journey, and we appreciate everything. If you have any comments, if you have any questions, please feel free to question in the comments, because we'd love to be able to teach you to do this too. If you're interested at all in having backyard chickens, this is the time to do it, everyone. This is a very good time to have your own supply of eggs in your backyard. And I don't really have to say why. Thank you very much for joining me, and I'll see you next time. Bye.